It's just another day in paradise. It's raining. It's been raining a lot in Missouri, like a lot. But we woke up this morning and there was a severe thunderstorm warning. So I'm here with Nomadic Nanny and we are actually in her van because her van is much bigger than mine. And well, this is where we're gonna spend most of our rain day. So you guys have asked me what I do on a rainy day. Well, let me show you. All began this morning whenever we found out that it was going to rain, and Nomadic Nanny whipped us up some breakfast so we'd have some food before we had to close the doors. Hear the rumbling of the thunder kind of in the distance, and then it started to get closer and closer, and then her phone went off with a warning saying, hey, really bad weather coming your way with some possible hail. So I have my van parked behind her van, and her van is facing out, so if we need to leave, we can. But it went from looking kind of grim to just nasty. And if you're wondering what that looks like in real time, here we go. Woo! Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's super crazy. I will say this, the breeze feels delightful because it has been hot here in the Ozarks, but can't really keep the doors open because the rain is blowing sideways. In fact, the winds could get up to 50 miles per hour, so that's why we thought we just better hunker down. Now, that's also not going to work out for solar, and we don't have an electrical site. But we are fortunate in that we are in a van. Now, in the past, I was traveling with a tent, and whenever I did travel with a tent, days like today would have been extremely bad. I wouldn't have been able to keep my tent up in the pounding of all of the wind. Not to mention everything would liably be soaked to the core. But in the van, at least there is a shelter and a reprieve. If I was here by myself, I would still be able to sit in my van and be fine. But having company and having a little bit larger space is really nice also. Kind of hard to see, but this guy over here, he has a tent, and he's in a pretty good spot because he's got some coverage, but everybody in the state park's not so fortunate. In fact, yesterday there was a torrential downpour for just a few minutes, and all the people in tents were pulling their things out because they'd all got soaked and they were trying to get them dried out. Most of those people are still here, so today is going to be much worse because the winds are insane. Now, one thing I do like about staying at a state park or places like that is they do have camp hosts, and usually they try to alert you just in case you didn't get a notification. So a few minutes ago they came around and were like, hey guys, they're getting some pretty bad weather, and we were outside cooking, so they made sure that we knew it's going to be bad fast and we might want to seek some shelter. So we're inside now. It's safer here, but you can definitely hear the rain is picking up. So I will be using this power station to power my laptop and doing a little bit of editing so you guys can see some cool videos. So Nomadic Nanny just got back from the restroom area. She was checking out the scenario for like a shelter, and there are a lot of people who are in fact taking cover in there, probably all the tent people, because they just have no reprieve whatsoever. So we are physically in the van as of right now, but it's nice to know that if we do need that, we can go just like literally over here. You know, it always pays to stay close to the bathroom because bathrooms usually are the good shelter place at a state park. So that's a good tip for you guys. But we're about to eat some breakfast because, you know, pre-planning, and we're gonna kind of monitor this to see what happens. Now, I have been in some wild rides along my 5 years of travel, so I'm hoping that this little wild ride doesn't take us for too much of a wild ride, but you guys are coming with me to see what this is really like. Oh no! Okay guys, it looks like the worst of the rain is starting to pass. There are a few other storms that are coming this way a little bit later though, but this is the overall damage of the campsite. These were things that just didn't make it into the van before, so now everything is soggy out there. Oh no! Okay, so that wasn't too bad. We waited it out. The tent over here remained intact, so that's good. Now, one of the things that I have noticed a lot of times whenever you go to a campsite and then they have like a torrential downpour, after the rain, a lot of times people just like start scooping up their stuff and kind of hitting the road because they don't want to deal with that again. And especially with the rain in the forecast for later on this afternoon, we might see like a mass exodus. We shall see though. It kind of depends. Now this is a Sunday, so this is typically the day that people would start to kind of transition back to normal life anyway. So I'm going to kind of be watching to see if I see a lot of people pulling out or even people capitalizing on pulling in, because this is also a really good time to score a campsite that might not have been available before. We're gonna pull down this reflectic on this side. Again, we are in not my van. See, you can see over there, it looks like some of those sites in the middle have already cleared out. They were a little bit more packed than that just before the rain. So sure enough, once again, a lot of things you learn on the road. That's one of them. So if you're looking for a campsite and you don't mind gutting out a little bit of weather here and there, you can always score a good campsite. I'm just saying. Sometimes you just got to be persistent. Sometimes you got to have a little patience, but it will work out. And if you're traveling as a nomad and you don't have a specific time frame that you have to be somewhere, sometimes it's worth it just to kind of ride out the storm, so to speak. I wouldn't recommend that if there's a tornado though. Don't ride out a tornado. Hey guys, so yeah, it got a little wild. But now it seems to be much more calm, but look at this huge puddle. So between our two vans, there's like this lake that has formed right here. And then these things got left outside, so they are soaked. So we're gonna have to figure that out also. Those actually blew over, so they fell. So we're gonna have some cleaning up to do. Yeah. So this is what happens when you have a torrential downpour just like out of the blue. But that's part of van life. Not every day is pretty. Not every day is that perfect photo. Some days it ends up looking like this. And even though it was raining so hard, this is just like stuck to my van now. Yeah. Good times. Good times. I just want to add that these things were bad enough trying to get them off before, and now they're just like this big, goopy, like sloshy mess that's like cereal that's been in milk too long. Look at that. Blech. Ew. This is gonna be disgusting. You can see over here there's a few sites that emptied out because of the storms. There's a few people who are still leaving. Over here, these people all are still here, which is good. So they didn't have any issues. And then our neighbor over here is still good. So that's awesome. So that's positive. But here is what we shall call the Nomad Lake. Clearly today is a rainy day, so it's a pajamas day. So this is a mismatch day. But yeah, so now if it does clear up, we're gonna have to step like right here to open my door or her door. And yeah, the lake. And some sad news, these paper towels did not make it. They just did not make it. I think this is as good a time as any to put on a sweatshirt though, because it's getting a little chilly. And I'm gonna take out my trash too before it starts pouring round 2. So today's just gonna be a chill day. And again, things like this happen. A lot of times whenever I'm in the van and I'm by myself, I'll just put in a DVD, I'll do some coloring, I'll do some doodling, or I'll work on videos. But every person needs something that they do in their van on days like today. Because, well, obviously, sometimes you just can't be outside. But I'm gonna put on a hoodie and take the trash out now. Say this, there's something really nice about the smell of rain, the freshness. Oh, I love how it feels after a good rain because it has that light chill even on a hot summery day like it was yesterday. Today it feels slightly cold and it's just really, really nice. Of course, it does make it kind of hard to have a good campfire unless you have dry wood. You know, you take the good, you take the bad. Isn't that the theme of the facts of life? Well, it actually applies to van life too. So yeah, today's just one of these days where, you know, it didn't go as planned, but at the same time, it's not so bad. You know, I kind of like days like today. When I'm by myself, I just kind of work through it, do some things in the van, sleep a little bit extra. Nobody ever had a problem with that, right? Because you always need a little extra sleep. But then whenever I have company, I get to have good conversation. We get to hang out, just kind of chill a little bit and not have to feel rushed or pressured to go out and about and do all sorts of things. Now, on days like today, you could also take the other side of the coin. You could get in your van and drive to something that's an indoor attraction. There's tons of different options, and there's no one way to van life. So, how would you spend a day like today? Leave in the comments below what you would do on a perfect rainy day like this. I'd really like to know. Now, I'm going to show you the rest of my day, and I think you'll enjoy it. But for now, if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure that you leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.